Over one-third of China's small businesses struggle financially, affecting 200 million jobs. Depressed pork prices during Chinese New Year expose deep-seated economic issues. Massive queue of financial moguls awaiting trial. Analysis exposes Xi Jinping's crucial direction. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Over one-third of China's small businesses struggle financially, affecting 200 million jobs. As the Chinese economy continues to decline, the three main drivers of the economy are said to be essentially stalling. The report, titled Financial Health of Small and Micro Enterprises, conducted by the China Inclusive Finance Research Institute, CIFI, of Renmin University, surveyed 2,349 respondents and revealed that more than a third of small and micro enterprises in China are financially unhealthy, posing various risks. The report compiled a financial health index, finding that over one-third of small and micro enterprises are financially unhealthy, impacting the employment prospects of 180 million people. Regionally, special attention is needed for small and micro enterprises in Hunan and Shaanxi, where a higher proportion is in financially unhealthy conditions. Guangxi and Chongqing show a polarization in the financial health of small and micro enterprises. Small and micro enterprises in China, especially those with 3 to 5 years and 8 years or more of operation, are experiencing financial challenges that require special attention. Overdue accounts receivable pose a severe issue in daily financial management, with around 80% of extremely unhealthy enterprises unable to recover receivables on time. These businesses are currently facing risks from market competition, tight working capital, and price fluctuations. Insufficient risk awareness, limited financial literacy, and a lack of suitable insurance products are hindering the improvement of insurance coverage for these enterprises. Additionally, raising capital remains a challenge due to difficulty and high costs, including issues with collateral, complex credit processes, and elevated financing costs in bank financing. As early as January 2015, Guangfa Bank, in collaboration with internationally renowned research institutions, released the China Small and Micro Enterprises White Paper in Beijing, introducing the country's first Small and Micro Enterprise Health Index. The year-long white paper on Chinese small and micro enterprises focused on the Bohai Rim, Yangtze River Delta, and Pearl River Delta regions, studying 12 cities with the highest small enterprise concentration and 15 industries with the highest proportion of such businesses. The findings revealed that one-third of these enterprises had a comprehensive health index below the baseline, indicating suboptimal health and operational challenges. Specific industries like pharmaceuticals, sports and leisure products, and footwear faced heavier operational pressures. The white paper highlighted 5 common challenges for these enterprises, including intense industry competition, high cost pressures, low profits, an unfavorable overall economic environment, heavy tax burdens, and difficulty in obtaining financing. In response to China's ongoing economic downturn, political analyst Wang Yi stated on January 30 that the Chinese Communist Party had relied on investment to drive the economy for decades. However, the current investment scale is unsustainable, with diminishing returns. Private capital is leaving, and foreign investment is also declining. The government's solution is to rely on infrastructure projects funded by government investment, but this approach exacerbates the government's debt crisis. China is currently in a dilemma, as both domestic and international confidence in its economic situation has waned, leading to significant capital outflows. Since last year, China has experienced low investment, declining foreign trade, and insufficient demand, causing the 3 main drivers of the economy to essentially stall. The situation in the current year is likely to be more severe than the previous year, with no signs of improvement. Depressed pork prices during Chinese New Year expose deep-seated economic issues. Traditionally, pork is integral to New Year festivities, symbolizing abundance. The peak season for pork consumption, leading to increased live pig prices, is expected before the Chinese New Year. However, vendors like Wuaizhen and Beijing's Xinmin wet market are struggling, with sales down by a third despite a 20% drop in pork prices. This reflects a prolonged period of sluggish pork demand, indicating the impact of declining wages on household economies. Duncan Wrigley, chief China economist at Pantheon Macroeconomics, said, since China reopened last year, although the number of people eating out has increased again, pork consumption has clearly not kept pace with supply. He added that although reliable data was lacking, farmers had stepped up production to cope with losses caused by African swine fever. China's pork consumption and pig production account for almost half of the world's total, and its annual consumption is 5 times that of the United States. But consumption fell by 1 million tons last year to about 54 million tons, according to Shanghai JCI Consulting. Despite a modest drop in pork consumption, there was an unusually sharp decline precisely when households were expected to resume spending. Concurrently, there's a significant increase in pork production, exacerbating deflationary pressure in China. Food, constituting 1/5 of the Consumer Price Index, CPI, particularly pork, plays a vital role. China's CPI has fallen for 3 consecutive months, a trend expected to persist until 2024. Low-income consumers are tightening budgets, hesitating to spend, while affluent individuals, especially those in Shanghai's banking sector, continue to spend. The challenging economic situation disproportionately affects migrant workers and blue-collar workers, leading to significant cuts in spending. In Jiangsu province, Li Fuming manages numerous canteens, providing meals for migrant workers. He fears potential closure as customers opt for cheaper vegetables over meat dishes, reflecting the financial strain on everyone. Data from last month reveals China's pork production in 2023 reached a 9-year high, prompting authorities to intervene 3 times to boost prices. Analysts suggest a vicious cycle, where decreased consumption leads to increased supply. This economic downturn disproportionately impacts small farmers, with breeding expert Dan Liu noting significant losses and the closure of 7 out of 10 small farms in his area. Large producers also face the threat of delisting from the stock market due to weak pork prices. Massive queue of financial moguls awaiting trial? Analysis exposes Xi Jinping's crucial direction. On February 2, China's stock market saw a significant drop below 2,700 points. Emerging reports of financial tycoons connected to IPOs awaiting trial have raised inquiries into Xi Jinping's intentions amidst prevailing market pessimism. On February 2, Chinese investment bank Huaxing Capital announced on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange that its CEO, Bao Fan, has resigned from multiple positions due to health and family reasons. Bao Fan, the founder of Huaxing, has been missing for over a year. His sudden disappearance is reminiscent of the founder of the Tomorrow Group, Xiao Jianhua, being abducted from Hong Kong and brought to the mainland for trial, both involving the CCP's crackdown on the financial sector and the purification of influential figures. Also on the 2nd, Asian Finance exposed blockbuster news on social media, stating that financial executives involved in China's stock market IPO, including Bao Fan, are queuing up for trial. It is speculated that Bao Fan's case is close to a conclusion, and it is not a favorable one. Asian Finance listed more than 10 financial executives investigated in the financial anti-corruption storm, most of whom are related to A-share IPOs. According to their statistics, in the past 4 years, an average of 1.08 A-share IPOs were issued every day, raising a total of 2.2 trillion, indicating the extent of corruption. However, some commenters argue that these investigated financial executives are actually scapegoats, as the funds raised from the stock market have long been siphoned off, and the real culprits who illegally profited have not been caught. The economic collapse in China is attributed to the manipulation of the stock market by CCP elites and Xi Jinping's ongoing efforts to purge the financial sector. The A-share market's sharp decline below 2,700 points on February 2 underscores the gravity of China's economic challenges. Su Lei, former CEO of JD.com, argues that considering the current economic situation as a typical downward cycle is a mistake. Rather, it marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. Meanwhile, Xi Jinping's efforts to rescue the stock and housing markets are criticized for simultaneously damaging the economy. Actions like party control over finance, suspension of key party sessions, and promoting Article 23 to impact Hong Kong are seen as jeopardizing both economic and political stability. Lai Jianping, a former Beijing lawyer and Canadian chairman of the Democratic Front, said that the CCP believes that maintaining power is the most important thing. Now it wants to save the economy and also wants political control. It keeps playing balance but loses sight of one. It has no rules and regulations and is in chaos. In the end, the regime will only collapse. Huang Xiais, in a Free Asia column, anticipates Hong Kong's economic demise due to Article 23 legislation, attributing it to Xi Jinping's power consolidation. Despite the expected consequences, Huang believes Xi Jinping aims to force foreign investment and Hong Kong residents to withdraw. He suggests Western countries prepare for war, citing war as a tool for power consolidation, as seen in North Korea. Huang predicts similar moves from Xi Jinping, urging Japan and Taiwan to brace for prolonged war preparations. Huang anticipates more unpredictable developments in the CCP's political arena, cautioning against misjudgments in understanding Xi Jinping. In the high-stakes current situation, he emphasizes the need to assume Xi Jinping will do whatever it takes for power, necessitating comprehensive preparations for the worst scenarios. The potential discussion of Peng Liyuan's promotion to the Politburo at the third plenary session of the CPC Central Committee is seen as a crucial indicator of future developments. CCP official sends condolence gifts for photo op, elderly farmer angrily throws them away. On February 3, a netizen named Shihan Hui posted on an overseas platform, stating that on February 2, a grassroots official in a certain region of China, to please the great party leader, provided farmers with some items. However, they also demanded that the farmers take videos with officials, express gratitude to the party, etc. Although the farmers initially accepted the items, when the staff started making additional demands, the elderly man refused to comply. In a fit of anger, he threw away all the items. The post included a video showing the elderly man taking items out of a bag and throwing them far away while continuously saying, "I don't want yours, I don't want yours." He also took another package from inside the house and threw it away, leaving the staff who brought the items looking embarrassed. The specific location and the actual circumstances of the video cannot be verified at the moment. The video immediately sparked discussions, with netizens praising the elderly man for having integrity and courage. Various commenters expressed admiration for the man in the video, emphasizing the person's refusal to compromise dignity for small gains and resistance to political pressure. Criticism was directed at the shamelessness of the CCP, with one commenter lamenting the staged performances of officials and the harsh conditions for private businesses, predicting a bleak future with no power to reverse the situation. U.S. military prepares for war, examining Xi Jinping's military restructuring progress. Xi Jinping's military reforms are becoming more intense, and at the same time, the CCP is not forgetting to provoke in the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait. Recently, a significant move by the U.S. military has attracted attention. Kenneth Wilsbach, commander of the Pacific Air Forces, revealed that the U.S. military will reopen and expand the abandoned military airport on Tinian Island in the Philippines. Columnist Ji Yongtian published an article in Up Media, stating that the U.S. military's aviation base on Tinian Island played a crucial role in World War II. The largest-scale carrier battle in human history, the Battle of the Philippine Sea, saw the U.S. defeating the Japanese and capturing Tinian Island. The B-29 squadron that dropped atomic bombs on Japan took off from Tinian Island. Now, the U.S. military is preparing for another Battle of the Philippine Sea with the goal of countering the CCP. Ji Yongtian mentioned that, compared to the U.S., China is still at an absolute disadvantage in terms of aircraft carriers and warships. It cannot even compare to Japan during World War II when, after suffering significant losses, Japan could still muster 9 aircraft carriers. However, judging from the trajectory, China's Liaoning and Shandong continuously entering the Philippine Sea for exercises, one of the purposes is to simulate an attack on U.S. military bases on Guam. This provocation undoubtedly signals that if a conflict breaks out between the U.S. and China, the Philippine Sea will inevitably become the main battleground, igniting the Second Battle of the Philippine Sea. Ji Yongtian believes that in the next naval war, long-range anti-ship ballistic missiles may be the key to determining the outcome. The Chinese Type 055 missile destroyer can carry a large number of long-range anti-ship missiles. If only a few of them can penetrate the defense network of a U.S. carrier battle group, it could force the withdrawal of U.S. carriers from the battlefield. However, China is at a disadvantage in the Philippine Sea, surrounded by adversaries. Guam is a U.S. military base, Okinawa also has U.S. military bases, Japan is an important ally of the United States, and the Philippines has recently leaned towards the U.S. due to the South China Sea issue, not to mention the soon-to-be-reopened Tinian Island Airport. In summary, although Taiwan has always been the target of Beijing, the U.S. and China are competing for control of the entire Pacific. The U.S. is unlikely to let go of the Western Pacific and will also consider Eurasia. Taiwan should not mistakenly think that improving cross-strait relations can resolve the overall situation. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.